After California's Supreme Court upheld Proposition 8, thousands of gay marriage activists took to the streets of Fresno, where a parade of speakers called for a new spirit of action. But a lingering question was on the minds of many here: what exactly should be the next move? Speakers like Dustin Lance Black, the screenwriter of Milk, called for more events like this that reach beyond the LA and San Francisco communities.
And I firmly believe it is time for us to reach out again and work as hard for our brothers and sisters in other communities as we have for ourselves. It is time for the us's to come back together again and start winning these fights for each other again.
Organizers were expecting only about 50 people to show up today. As it turned out, attendance was more than 5,000.
I mean, we had November 4th, the victory with Obama. November 5th was the anger and upset and just outrage over what happened with Prop 8, over its passage. November 15th, all the Join the Impact rallies, Milk came out, people were learning more and more about the history of the movement, and all these young folks emerged, all these new groups were made, and then lots of conversation, lots of organizing. We started Camp Courage, we had 4 of those. People started canvassing. We came here in March, and Robin McGehee said, if you'll just believe my dream, we can launch the next wave, the next campaign from Fresno. That's what she said.
One of the criticisms of the campaign last fall was that not enough effort was made to reach into minority communities and to rural areas.
A great idea to me. It is more central. It is more. It is not the heart of LA or West Hollywood, where I think sometimes it's easy for the average Californian to ignore. I don't think you can ignore something that takes place in a less perhaps gay-friendly city than, say, West Hollywood.
Even as activists vow to improve their grassroots efforts, others are pursuing a new legal approach. The 2 star attorneys who fought on opposite sides of the Bush versus Gore recount, David Boies and Ted Olson, filed a suit in federal court challenging the constitutionality of Prop 8 on the grounds that it denies due process and equal protection. Their move provoked criticism from some gay legal groups who see it as a risk. They fear a loss in the Supreme Courts could set a precedent and set back the marriage movement. But Lance Black, who is a board member of the organization pursuing the case, sees it in the context of the civil rights era.
I found that quite heartening. I think that if you look to the story of Dr. Martin Luther King, who when he started to push, when he started to agitate, they called it, he was told to quiet down and to back off, that he was harming their movement for asking for too much too soon. In fact, he wrote this great thing from the jail in Birmingham, where he said, so often we've heard, and he has heard, the word wait. And always the word wait has meant never. And you have to do it now. Now is not the time to take the tranquilizing drug of gradualism.
In addition to disagreement, there also has been disappointment directed at President Obama. Robin McGehee, who spearheaded the Fresno rally, says the president has done and said little about gay rights ever since the inauguration.
I am totally upset that a man that totally talked about change and being all about diversity and yes we can. Right now I feel it's yes we can as long as you're not LGBT. And that's how strong I feel about it.
Many of the activists are still praiseworthy of the administration, but they say it is important to protest and demonstrate even against the president to make sure that their voices are heard.
Our humanity. We seek nothing less than equal protection under the law in all matters governed by civil law in all 50 states.
Organizers say that now the real work is just beginning. A march on Washington in October and a ballot initiative in 2010.